Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you all are having a great, wonderful, fantastic day. So, I wanted to talk about something. The other day, I was on my phone. I had got my phone out, looking at it, sitting outside the gym, about to go in. And of course, I do what we all do, open my phone. I was about to go to Instagram, Facebook, whatever it was, app I came across first. But I scrolled left to look at the weather, and on that left hand side there happened to be a pop-up in that little widget window over there that said significant locations. And nerd that I am, I said, well, what is this significant locations thing? I don't know what that is, so let me look it up. So I looked it up, and it's kind of weird and at the same time kind of cool, but it's horrible. I turned it off after I figured out what it was. But so your iPhone, if you have an iPhone, tracks where you go. Obviously, we already know that. But your iPhone tracks where you go, and it keeps a list of the locations that you are at most often and saves those. And that's why you get those pop-ups, like if you get in your car in the morning and it connects to your Bluetooth in your car, and then it might say work 15 minutes away. For me it'll say like, my work's 18 minutes away, 18 minutes to get there, traffic is light, etc. So that's why it knows those things. That's why it knows to pull that up whenever you get in the car and turn your Bluetooth on. Well, I turn it off because it's weird that Apple's tracking me, but they're probably still tracking me even with it off. It doesn't matter. But I got to thinking about it, and I was thinking, it's odd that they call it significant locations, and significant just means that it's important, or that it makes a difference, or that it's good for you in your life. It's significant to you, and it makes sense that work can be on our significant locations. Our parents' house, if we go there, our own house, things like that. Some of us probably have some locations under that significant locations that we didn't think probably we were at that often, but we do end up at those locations more often than not. And they're kind of our go-to places. I've got the gym is on mine. It needs to be more significant. It's probably really low on the list. It's probably like the last one because I don't go there as often as I need to, but it is on the list. Church is on the list. My parents' house, my grandparents' house, my in-laws, my house, work. And sometimes I'll look at it and think, man, that's sad. I don't go anywhere else but those places. But it's a good thing that you have significant locations in your life. And so I got to thinking about that. And we have significant things in our life. Our life, we define our lives by significance. Whether we're doing something that has significance, whether our markers in our life of our life's timeline where we've lived so far. We judge our lives by significant events. We talk about when we got married. When we first got baptized, when we first went to college, where we graduated from, when we graduated, that kind of thing. And I got to thinking, I kind of do that with my time as well, and my thoughts. We have significant locations in our thought patterns. We have things that we continue to think and things that we continue to do. And whenever something's going good, we go to a significant location in our mind. When something's going bad, we go to a significant location in our mind, or we go to a significant thing. Some people, something bad happens, their significant location they go to as well. I'm not good enough, or depression, or they can physically go to alcohol or something like that. And so I'm just sitting here thinking about all of this in my car, and I'm thinking, we really need to make sure that our significant location in our lives, whether it's a good moment or a bad moment, our go-to needs to be the Word and Jesus. And, thinking back we looked at David in Psalms. We assume that Psalms, most of them, if not all, if not a good amount, were written by David. And and it was in Psalms that David said that the Word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. And basically he's saying that the Word is what allows him to see where he's going. It's what, shows him how to deal with where he's at and where to go next. Sometimes for us, we have some kind of news or something that we get, some kind of bad news, and we don't know where to go next. And we can find those things in the Word if we go and look. And then the other thing that I remember, John 10:10 says, "The thief comes to steal, kill, and destroy, and I came," I being Jesus, "that they may have life and have it abundantly." And, through the Word, through Jesus, that is the two ways that we can have life, know which direction to go. Those two things should be our significant locations, no matter what the circumstance in our life is. Something's going good, go to God, pray about it, thank Him, go to your Word. Something's going bad, same thing, pray about it, thank Him, give it to Him. Say, "God, here's this. I give this to you. I trust you with it, and I want you to have it because I know you have my best interest in mind, and I know that you have a plan for me and my life, and I'm giving this to you because I'm not going to worry about it anymore, because I know you've already taken care of it." And sometimes we just forget this. We get in our day-to-day life, we get in our routines, and we forget our significant locations in the Word and in Jesus. COVID has been a big deal for a lot of people, and I spent most of the shutdown, being quarantined, having COVID myself, Paige and I, my wife and I, having COVID. And then I spent most of that time telling myself, because I'm a teacher and I have these kids at work, and I have people telling me, "Well, it's been hard on them, we need to cut them some slack," etc. And I keep telling myself during all of this time, hey, it's not been that difficult. It's not been that big of a problem. It's not been bothering people that bad. And a couple of things really happened. I had some people close to me that lost people. Having COVID, I had symptoms for a long time. Even after I got over COVID, I still had things going on that were really bothering me. Symptoms after having COVID. And then I got to this point a couple of months ago, I guess, where I started being really depressed, being worried about stuff that I never worried about before, thinking about things that I have never thought about before, just, having negative thoughts and stuff like that. And after a while of dealing with that, I realized that, I was questioning the significance in my life because I had not been going to those significant locations that I had always gone to my whole life. I had not been going to Jesus and talking to Him. I had not been going to my Word and reading it and getting into it and figuring out what God has for me, what He wants to tell me. And so as I got back into those things, made sure to make church a priority, made sure to make worship a priority, prayer a priority, reading my word a priority, things started to slowly get better and get back on track. It's amazing the difference that having those things in your routine makes on your life. Just going and talking to, Jesus whenever things are bad, and I encourage you to do that. And I really, really encourage you to do, what I slack sometimes, and this is advice from me too, is to go and thank God when things are going well. And when we have a significant event that happens in our life, thank God and thank Him for, what He's done for us and how He's worked things out for our good. And so I just, sitting in my car, looking at my phone, significant locations, and, all of this kind of came to me and just got me thinking. There's a lot of people out there that have been through COVID, this pandemic, this shutdown, people being stuck at home. We're in Alabama, so it's a little bit more open, but other states are still pretty closed. And I just think it's for people that don't have Jesus to talk to. It's got to be really, really hard. It's been hard for us all, even us Christians that have Jesus to talk to. But for people that don't have Him, that don't believe, that haven't surrendered their life, that's had to have been even more of a struggle. And so, for all the people that are going through these tough times, especially even now, have been through COVID, have gone through all of these, and are questioning, why is it that all of these bad things are happening in the world? I'm not here to say that God has done all of this, because He hasn't. We live in a fallen world, we live in a fallen society. Bad things are going to happen because we're a fallen creation. And what can happen, though, is that God can use this. God makes all things work for the good of those who believe in Him. And there was a quote from C.S. Lewis. I just love C.S. Lewis, and he's just was an incredible writer, an incredible thinker. And he said, pain insists on being attended to. And we've all been in pain this past year. But pain insists on being attended to. God whispers in our pleasures, but shouts in our pain. He speaks in our conscience. And I think that when we're hurting, especially, is the times that we seek Him the most. And I think that when we're hurting is the time where we're trying to hear Him the most, because we want the answer to get out of whatever situation that we're going through. And I may talk about that a little more in another video, if I do another video, but we just have our highs and lows in life, and we need to make sure that God is present for us in both of those. And He's present, but we don't always pay attention to Him. We want to forget God and talk about our own merit whenever we're on the high. Hey, I did this great thing. And then when we're on the low, we want to say, God, where you at? What you do? You wasn't paying attention to me. I got in this mess. You let it happen. But that's not the case. And I think the real way to get to a place where we have joy, where we really are realizing our significance, and we are able to handle all of these situations is keeping our significant locations, the Word, and prayer time with Jesus. Church is important too. Worship is important too. But especially those first two, to me, just make a whole lot of difference in our lives. And if you watch this video and you watch it to the end, to this part, and you do not have Jesus in your life and you don't know the Lord, then I encourage you to pray right now. And if you want to, you can send me a message on Facebook and we can talk about it. You can send me a message on wherever, Instagram, and we can talk about it. But you can close your eyes right now as you're watching this video and you can say, Lord, I want to know you. I want to know the plans that you have for my life. And I want to talk to you. I believe in you. I believe that your son died on the cross for me. I've been trying to do this my way for too long. I want to accept Jesus into my heart. I know that my way is flawed. My way is always going to be flawed. But I'm ready to do it your way, God. Please rescue me from this life and help me to live in you. Amen. Hope that you guys, if you watch this video, get something out of that. I know that it's kind of a long video, but I think that sometimes we see little things, we see things in the world, we hear a line in a song, we read something in the Word, and I think it just really speaks to us and reminds us of the way that we're supposed to be doing things, and reminds us of the way that God wants us to be, and reminds us to talk to Him about it, and puts us on the right track. Now, when I looked at my phone and scrolled over to that significant locations, I was just what went through my brain. Got to make sure that the places that we're going to, in our real life, physical locations are good for us. But we really need to make sure too that our spiritual locations are what they need to be too. Love you guys. If you want me to make some more videos, let me know.